We don't want you ending up in this guy's situation or the other guy's situation or a new situation of your own. Right. I don't think we'd be doing another video like this anytime soon, but I think it is a must, mainly for educational purposes, to warn you guys that there are people out there doing you dirty. Where do we begin? This car, hopefully I have finished the previous video, which is sort of like a day in the life. This customer has been waiting for an availability to get his car in so that I can undo and redo some really horrendous work. He's been waiting about 2 months to get this in, but I've been stuck. So he has had an engine built by a company. He spent, I think he said, best part of like £9,000 with them on the engine build. So forged engine, pistons, rods, all the above. It's complete rebuild and new turbo fitted, loads of new gaskets and seals apparently. But what is absolutely shocking, I'm going to show you guys now. The head is already off. That was done in a previous video. So this is going to be a part one. This is where we're at. And then obviously a part two, maybe when I get everything back. Maybe I'll talk you through. I'm going to be building it back together. I don't know. Might be a part one and part two. Might just be this video just to share awareness. Some of you guys are going to know whose car this is. Even though I've got this covered, apparently this vehicle has been talked about quite a bit. I can tell you where the company is based. The company is based in Erith in, I don't know if it's classed as South London, but Erith or near Slade Green. I can't tell you the company's name. That's not my place, but yeah, an engine building company, funny enough. And when I show you what I'm about to show you, you're actually going to question how someone can call themselves an engine building company. I'm not an engine building company, but I can build engines. It's not something I even wanted to get into. It's funny how I ended up getting into it, but it always seems to be, oh, look, this guy's having a bad time. I want to help him out. And here we are. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys exactly what we are dealing with. So ignore the state of everything right now. I know everything looks very, very dirty, but everything's covered in oil. So one of the things, obviously, I noticed gasket sealer everywhere. One of the things I noticed is this is a rubber gasket for the upper timing chain cover. Now, I noticed this when the car was still together. There's gasket sealant all over here. Now, this does have a rubber seal there, so there's no reason there should be gasket sealant on this part of the engine. That there was untold amount of sealant everywhere on this, which is absolutely ridiculous, because when these are brand new, they don't need to be sealed. Now, I don't know if they've reused this one, or if they've put a new one in and just caked it in gasket sealant. So that's one. That's one of the problems there. I think it was either this one or the other one. This is another gasket or rubber seal that goes inside this casing. So when I took this casing off, this gasket or this seal, or maybe the other one because there's two, was actually stuck. You see the amount of sealant, gasket sealant we've got everywhere, and you guys already know how much I can't stand people that cake stuff in gasket sealant. If we look on this, this is the camshaft cradle. So this is the part that you bolt down, and that holds the camshafts into the head. So on this, the outer, so along here, that's fine to seal up. That's not an issue. Same on the back or the front edge. Seal that up. But that and the rings for the spark plugs are the only things to be sealed up on this, right? So as long as it's not leaking out the back or the front. Because here, this little channel here shouldn't be sealed. That is supposed to allow oil to flow past the camshaft, because obviously there's a camshaft that sits here, past the camshaft and into vacuum pump housing. Obviously you can see there's also another hole to allow oil flow. But there's something that bolts over here and there's a gasket as well, so there's no chance of it leaking out. So that part there didn't need to be sealed. And obviously same again with all of these. They just allow the oil to flow through properly. And then same on this side, they don't need to be sealed, because here we would have a ton of gasket sealant anyway. Bear with me, where this seal would sit on there, and then this would go on top of it like that. So yeah, there's like the amount of sealant used is horrendous on this. Like, I really thought the RS3 was bad. I mean, the RS3 is bad because that had low oil pressure, but okay. Right, the battery on the microphone has died again. I swear, you guys might be watching this before or after Christmas, but I promise you I will be getting new mics. So yeah, you can see down here, gasket sealant on these pipes, which shouldn't have gasket sealant because they all have O-rings in them. We've got that pipe down there. That was covered in gasket sealant. Surprise, surprise, this pipe here, can you see? Covered in gasket sealant. What about this one above? Oh, hello, there's a lot more gasket sealant. So I'm sure you guys are starting to see the pattern here. There's a load of gasket sealant absolutely everywhere. And if I take you down here, look at the state of this. Like, it is absolutely unreal that you can pride yourself off of engine builds, or you call yourself an engine building company, and you're having to use this amount of gasket sealant. Unnecessarily, I will add, because a lot of these parts that have been sealed, they have O-rings. So as long as you're replacing them and they're brand new O-rings, you shouldn't have a leak. In terms of the camshaft cradle, like that there, we have got genuine sealant for. There is a genuine green sealant. I've showed you guys before. You put that on and it cures over time with, I think it's to do with heat or temperature or something like that. But yeah, so we've got a load of new parts here, obviously genuine, but this isn't even half of what we need. I've noticed bolts that are incorrect. We've got a new exhaust clamp, gasket. We've got new turbo gasket, head gasket, the rubber gasket that's got all the gasket sealant all over it. And we're obviously going to have to order a ton of seals for the engine as well. We're going to replace all the seals for those lines, both top and bottom. This turbo is a brand new turbo, LT500 or something like that, or L500. And again, you can see the amount of gasket sealer. Why have we got gasket sealant on a turbo? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's not ideal. It's heartbreaking to see that this is what people have to deal with. They pay their good hard-earned money for someone to just, you know, do this sort of thing. So obviously this is where the camshafts sit, in the top of the head, in the camshaft cradle. So all of these bolts are not genuine bolts. I mean, I don't know what bolts they are. They are shouldered. They do look shiny. I don't know if they're high tensile for whatever reason. You don't even need high tensile bolts to hold the camshaft cradle down. We're going to replace those all with genuine bolts. I've had a look at these to see if there's any sealant in them. I can't see any. But same again, look at how much sealant has actually been used in and around the engine. And then again, if we look over here, guess what we've got, guys? A little bit more sealant. So these two bits will have to be pulled out. We're going to pull them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the head is going to be dropped off and cleaned. We're going to get the head tested because I don't want to take any chances. If this is what we're seeing with gasket sealant, imagine when it comes to actually having to deal with proper work. We don't know what the valve guides are like. We don't know what the valve stem seals are like. So we're going to get it vacuum tested, going to get the head given a complete overhaul. We're going to go local for this. And what else was there? Let me show you the head. I'll show you the underneath of the head. If we look here, I'm not sure how well the camera is going to pick it up, but we've got like scoring marks or flattening marks, sanding marks in all different directions. So this tells me that the head wasn't skimmed properly when it was done. Could this be the reason for the head gasket going? Potentially, but we're going to find out. It looks like they have used, I'm not sure what the stones are called, but there are stones that you can use to skim heads. What worries me is obviously these heads have got a slight edge here and a slight edge down here. So maybe something has gone wrong and they've caught this edge a bit too much, so it's made this a little bit, I don't know. But this is why we take heads to the machinist, because there's no point me replacing the head gasket on this and then it biting me in the butt. So, yeah. Even down to this. What is that? Is that rubber seals there? Don't tell me. Or is that, no, that's grease, I think. Is that grease? Yeah, that's grease. We're gonna pull this injector rail off, because that's a little bit, we got to take it off anyway, but that's a little bit worrying. Look, we can see 2 rubber seals there and none here. So we've got a load of, I don't know, it's obviously grease. So there's a load of grease in there, which, I mean, it might be a little bit excessive to have that much grease in there. I know I always grease the seals before I put them on. But this company, as we can see, have already been very carried away with everything. Okay, so the mic's now off, because the issue with these mics is they're either disconnecting or the battery's dying on them a lot quicker than expected. Looking at these seals, this seal looks okay here. I think we're going to have to get some injector fitting kits. That seal looks okay. This one looks like it's torn, definitely, because that's a different shape. So we've got 3 out of 4 injector seals that look like they've been torn. So again, that's another thing to add to the list, injector seal kit. Man, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that these companies are doing this sort of thing. Right, what I'm going to do, I'll pull these out, because we've got to take the rest of this stuff off of the head to give to the machinist. So yeah, as suspected, there's a hell of a lot of gasket sealer everywhere. Lovely. Ah, is this head is spray painted. I thought it was clean. They just aerosoled it with silver. That is horrendous. What about this? Can we get this one to... Yep. And we'll get a new seal for that. Gasket sealer everywhere. That is amazing. It's not amazing. It's the art of bodgery. The art of bodgery. So, as you guys have seen, it is a crazy world we live in, whether it's salvage cars or rogue mechanics, phony engine builders. It's crazy. So please, if you guys are thinking of getting any work done, please vet the company first. We don't want you ending up in this guy's situation or the other guy's situation or a new situation of your own, where you've paid your hard-earned money to someone to do half a job. Yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I appreciate you guys taking the time and watching the videos. It does mean a lot. I'm sorry I haven't been more consistent. Let's hope going into the new year with some new microphones, a couple of extra SD cards, and some portable chargers, we can get a lot more content done. So yeah, that's it, guys. Happy Christmas, and it's beast mode to the world.